Mexican OT. I know a lot of you guys don't know about him. Most people don't. He's somewhat of a rapper, maybe kind of thing, a performer who performs raps. And he has some hidden FBA hatred like many Latinos do. And we're going to go into that. We're going to break that down because he's saying something that we've seen among many Latino quote unquote rappers, which allude to their hatred, the Latino hatred for foundational Black Americans.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I'm your host, Afro Elite. We're going to get started, okay? First off, it's Sunday. I haven't been live on Sunday in a good minute, but we're here because we missed Wednesday because I was out in D.C. handling business, so that's why we're here, all right? I appreciate you guys for being here with us. We got much to discuss, all right? We have these Latinos and their hatred from foundational Black Americans are starting to come out now, and we're going to discuss a couple of things. As we discuss that, I would appreciate everybody hitting this like button, all of that stuff. We're going to get straight into it, but before we do, what we need to do to protect the channel and establish that everything we play thus forth is protected under the guise of fair use, we're going to play the copyright disclaimer. Now, as we play the copyright disclaimer, what I would greatly appreciate from every single last one of you all is to hit that like button and share button, subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We'll be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, before we really get started, because you know we can't just get right into it without preheating the oven, you know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we have everything concise. So it's not us just hating. Now, we've been talking for the longest time for years that there's been some type of big Black and brown coalition, and Black and brown people have a shared struggle, and Black and brown people need to stick together and do all of this stuff. And yet we've seen betrayal from the so-called quote-unquote brown folks. We've seen attacks from the brown folks. We've seen hatred from the brown folks. So with that being said, we said, you know what, if that's going to be how it is, then you guys, I guess y'all get to get out there, y'all get to get deported, y'all get to face ICE by yourselves. We're not going to sit up there and save you guys as y'all backstabbing us every single chance you get. Can't do that. Does that make sense? It doesn't. Doesn't make any sense. So we said, no more. Y'all said Lila La Raza or Viva La Raza or no, whatever, La Raza something. Y'all said y'all want to improve the race, that y'all don't need the Blacks. We said, hey, are you sure? They said, yes, we're sure. They said, hey, yes. Okay. Just remember they said that. All right. Actually, I don't want you guys to just remember it. We're going to do a little refresher. And I love this video because it's just aging so well every single day. It just ages really well. We're not going to play the whole thing, but we got to play it because it just ages too well. It's one of the best aging videos of all time.
I've seen a lot of videos of Black people making fun of Mexicans for what's happening right now with Mexican people.
Because that's not true. And anytime they say Black people are doing something to Mexicans, that's just the way that they can deny or justify the racist rant that they have afterwards. Every time they say that, well, Black people are doing this to Mexicans, so you know what I think of Blacks? I'm going to tell you what I really think of Blacks, since that's what you guys are doing to us. No, they say that so they can then, after that, just know the following is going to be an anti-Black rant, an anti-Black comment. Is going to be them telling on themselves, but they have to kind of cushion it with, well, Blacks are doing it to Latinos, so it's time for me to speak up for myself. So that's where that's coming from. Just every time they do that, just know that. All right. Now, he goes on to say that we can't trust each other and all of this stuff. Look, hold on.
Mexican people are hardworking people. Mexican people stick together. They make it work. That's the total opposite of a black person. You want to call me racist? Go right ahead. I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, Mexican people are not alone. They have all of us. What makes you think that a Mexican will say, oh, okay, well, we have the blacks. Let's go to them. Come on now. Y'all don't even trust each other. What makes you think that a Mexican will trust you if you don't even trust your brother? Get your popcorn ready and watch how Mexicans make this work.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. He says, get our popcorn ready and make sure we getting this right. Okay. I mean, that is what it is. Is what it is. Can we get some popcorn in the chat? Because all we seen is this.
Trump has promised to deport millions of immigrants to their home countries. And today, the Department of Homeland Security announced it is widening the net. A new policy gives ICE agents the green light to conduct enforcement operations in schools, churches, playgrounds, and daycare centers. Those locations used to be off limits. Now, ICE can look for people in those places to deport. The mayor of Denver telling Top Story last night, those sensitive areas are a big concern for his city.
Churches, schools, hospitals, they've long been no-go locations for ICE because...
Who explained the complicated and expensive process. First, it starts with an arrest by ICE agents. Then, immigrants are taken to be detained at more than 100 local ICE facilities. From there, they may have a chance to go before a judge and plead their case. Typically, this process has taken weeks if it's fast-tracked, or if not, it has even taken years.
Oh, God.
If a judge agrees that the person...
Oh, God.
Just like this, that they can use to deport...
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, the horror. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This popcorn is delicious, though. I do have to say that was a really great suggestion. The popcorn is absolutely phenomenal, but they out here handling business. They handle
one. It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Oh, no.
Within moments, the officers wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats.
Oh, no, hold on. Okay, so it don't look like they're doing that well. But on the bright side, that popcorn recommendation was amazing. I love popcorn, okay? A lot of people in the chat room apparently love popcorn too. That was a great suggestion. I'm just saying this because I want to give a reminder. Every time we make them a little bit upset, we start to see that anti-black Larasa start to come out of them, all right? So because we haven't been helping them and they've been by themselves and they've been getting it how they live, they've been sitting up there talking about, hold on, where are our black brothers and sisters at now? The ones we said we didn't need. Where are our black brothers and sisters at? Now they're asking for quote unquote racial solidarity. They're saying that we need racial solidarity. They're saying, wait, hold on. This is what we need. Hold on, look. Racial solidarity.
About themselves is a way of finding liberation.
Because when we said, hey, we black and we minding our black business, they saying, hold on, no, don't do that.
Black people only worrying about themselves as a way of finding liberation makes sense until you realize that Martin Luther King said otherwise, Malcolm X said otherwise, Fred Hampton said otherwise, and all of them were killed by the US government. If you want to find out who the enemy of the oppressor is, look where the oppressor is pointing their guns at. They all said that racial solidarity will bring about the downfall of white supremacy, and then a country based in white supremacy, founded on white supremacy, and upholding white supremacy fucking killed them. Assata Shakur said that racial solidarity will bring about liberation for all people. And guess what? They chased her to a Latino country. She's been in fucking Cuba since. Historically in the US, if you become a big figure who preaches racial solidarity and class solidarity, you get fucking killed. If that doesn't tell you the truth about dismantling white supremacy, then I don't know what to tell you. Guess who the government has never killed? Any of you niggas. Y'all are on here preaching for racial isolation and the government has never killed anyone who does that. I wonder why that is. The name of the game is divide and conquer. You motherfuckers are dividing yourselves. You motherfuckers are isolating yourselves. That is what the government wants. Look at their track record. Look at their history, guys. Come on, like, please.
Brothers and sisters, you know what I find interesting? What I find interesting about this racial solidarity, and I posted this on Twitter, it's getting, close to going viral at this point. You know what I find interesting is this racial solidarity and all of that stuff is just not only very convenient, it's always convenient. It's not most of the time convenient, it's always exclusively convenient for the opposite party. Well, I can't help but notice that he brought up Ashada Shakur, foundational Black American, Malcolm X, a foundational Black American, Martin Luther King, a foundational Black American, Fred Hampton, a foundational Black American. Why are the only people you can reference that have been assassinated by the government for standing up for people's rights foundational Black Americans? Huh? Oh, y'all don't want, huh? Yeah, why are the only people, notice that. Brothers and sisters, notice that. The only time they are like, oh, let's look at a hero, let's look at an icon, we the only people anybody ever brings up. Oh, Malcolm said this one time, and Martin said this one time, and Fred Hampton said this one time, and Rosa Parks said that one time, and then this. Hold on, where's the Latino Malcolm X? Where's the Latino Martin Luther King? Where's the Latino Ashada Shakur? Oh, you don't have one. Oh, that's why. That's why. Oh, that's why. You don't have one. You don't have one. And the reason why you don't have one is because y'all anti-Black. That's the reason why y'all don't have one. Y'all don't have anybody of any high profile in your community that preaches about justice beyond what's in their personal best interest. Everybody who has any bit of status is looking out for themselves. Maybe look out for the La Raza and the rest of y'all. But y'all don't care about the rest of the people. Y'all don't. And then when y'all need some help, when ICE is coming and grab y'all and y'all can't fight them off like y'all want to, y'all be all like, hold on, there was one time MLK said, come on, guys. He said, judge a person by the color of their character or skin. I don't know. I didn't listen to him growing up. Please help me. That's how they get. That's how they get. No. No. We're not doing that. Y'all get to act like our heroes are y'all heroes when it's convenient for y'all, but yet y'all don't ever take heed to what they were saying before. Y'all don't take heed because y'all bring up Dr. Martin Luther King, which I find very interesting, considering the fact that most of y'all vote against reparations. We just got to do a refresher, just little refresher, okay? Because Martin Luther King, you can say he died for reparations. Ultimately, you can say that because that's really the truth. And what they got going on, they sitting up there talking about fighting against our reparations. Look at this.
Now in North Carolina, they'll pass reparations for whoever's over there. I'm sure they'll try to do something out here in California. I think they already actually got a little board going that they're going to start looking into it. So
yeah, and that's when we, the Raza, need to step up, protest, and I'm talking major, and turn around and tell them, no, nobody getting reparations until the Native Americans and the Mexicans get ours first. We've been going through this crap a lot longer, so I don't want to hear it. Because it's not fair, dog. How are you going to get...
We've been going through this a lot longer. It's not fair. Oh, okay. This is the MLK Black and Brown Coalition. This is that. This is that too, right here.
You working. No more money for you. Bye. Go back across the No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. No
What do you guys think Fred Hampton would say? What do you guys think Malcolm would say? What do you guys think MLK would say? Can't tell you. This don't look like solidarity. And when y'all see stuff like this, y'all don't say nothing. They be calling us the N-word nonstop. And they will straight up tell you they don't give a damn about what you think. We'll get into that. But there's some more receipts. We got to get the receipts flushed out to put the proper foundation down, if I could use that term. My brothers and sisters from the foundation, if I could use that term. They be saying the N-word left and right and say they don't care what black people feel. They don't care how black people feel about it. They don't care. When we say, hey, you can't say the N-word, they say, what you gonna do to stop me? Oh, we gonna get into that because it's not just Mexican OT. They say, hey, you can't stop me from saying the N-word. I'm going to say it if I want to. That's the racial solidarity Malcolm X was talking about. That's the racial solidarity MLK was talking about. That's the racial solidarity Fred Hampton was talking about. These people sitting up there calling us the N-word. And if we say, hey, since you're not a black person, I find the N-word coming from you to be a slur, to be offensive. They say, I don't give a damn. I'm going to say it regardless. You can't stop me. This is this racial solidarity. So when ICE grabs them and they boil and all of they illegal kids, we supposed to be fighting them? Why they calling us the N-word? No. Oh, it's a new day. It's a new day. We not doing that no more. We're not doing that no more. I don't know what you thought this was, but this ain't that. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things, but I can tell you what it ain't, and it's that. It's a lot of things, but it ain't that. That's what I know. That's the only thing I know, is that this ain't that. Let me get to super chats real quick. Shout out to Yirmiyah bin Israel for the super chat. Thank you very much. And then FBA Queen says, thanks for all you do in Chicago for FBAs. My popcorn is ready. Oh, thank you. I love the popcorn. Love it. They ain't doing ish but running. Oh, they not running and hiding and ducking and all of that stuff. They trying to get an anchor baby or two out the paint. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really working out the way they wanted to, because we found that loophole. Let me show you this. So when we say we cool, they getting upset that we saying we cool. They getting upset. Look at this. Hold on. Up. Okay, it's right here.
To my fellow black folks, we don't care. We don't care if you don't think this is right. We don't care if you think you was right all along. We don't care about nothing. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Simple as that. Stop trying to act like middle school trying to prove a point so bad. Stop trying to get on here trying to convince other people that this is not their fight just because you feel a different type of way. If you feel like you're going to mind your business about this protest, you should also mind your business about who the hell is going. That's it. Simple as that. We need to shut down the narrative that Latinos and Hispanic community was not there for y'all. I've seen a lot of people there at the George Floyd protest. I've seen a lot of people there at the Black Lives Matter protest. Please get it together. I need y'all to understand that we are all a minority together. We're not saying that what you went through was not worse, but this is not a competition right now. Also, I need y'all to remember that there's a lot of Hispanic and Latinos that also went through slavery and went through the same oppression that you guys did. Okay? Yeah. And to the black folks that are talking about, oh, that's the law. Y'all came here illegally. Da-da-da. If y'all really want to be ignorant, so was slavery. Slavery was a law. That still didn't make it right. What are you talking about? Like, what?
Okay, and this is, first off, this is a little Afro-Latino. Okay, set up there caping for her Hispanic family. And when we talk about, and I'm actually glad that she makes this video, that she made that video. Because we constantly have the hold on, y'all. There are Afro-Latinos. And remember, I think it was last week or so. I said, hold on. We're not going to just sit up there and blindly support Afro Latinos. At this point in time, Foundational Black Americans, all this blind support of anybody who just happens to put Afro, they identify as Afro. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Why? Is because when it comes to the agenda, you guys, even though you're Afro-Latino, y'all support a Latino agenda. And then when we talk about their racism, you are Afro-Latino. No. We're not doing that. Y'all keep saying y'all were there for the George Floyd protests and stuff like that. They were there for their own interest. They've always been there for their own interest. And anytime something is not aligned with what's in their best interest, they protest it. They're not even not there. People be all like, well, if it's not aligned with what's in their best interest, they're silent. They're not silent. They're an opposition to us. Okay. Let's play another receipt real quick. Hold on. Because we got to remind everybody about the receipts, don't we? We got to remind them because maybe they don't know what they've done. This is what they've done. It needs to play now. Come on.
Consultants from the task force reported the total amount could be 100 billion, 800 billion.
Hold on.
That's 2.5 times the size.
Oh, no. Is this Sanchez? Is this Kate Sanchez? Oh, no.
800 billion. That's 2.5 times the size of our entire state budget. To pay for that, you'd need a major tax hike, unlike anything this state has ever seen before. I recognize and acknowledge the painful part of our history. The pains of our past should not be paid by the people of today. The majority of our state is Latino and Asian, making up 55% of our population. Most of them, like me, are first, second, or third generation immigrants who had nothing to do with slavery.
What she said was very interesting right there. What she said was very interesting. Keep that in mind. And I've been saying this for the last few months, especially the last month or so. I've been saying this. Most of the Latinos in America are at best third generation. They don't go back 4 generations. They don't. Most of them here, their great-grandmother wasn't born here. My great-grandmother was born here. I know because she used to live with us. Well, she was towards the end of her life. Okay. My great-grandmother was born here, in particular in Mississippi. Okay. And they came up here with through the Great Migration. Her and my grandmother and all of my mother's side of the family. Okay. My great-grandmother was born here on my mama's side. My great-grandmother was born here on my daddy's side. Her mother was born here. Her mother was born here. Her mother was born here on my mama's side. Her mother was born here. Her mother was born here. Her mother was born here. And now I could just keep going on, but I would lose breath saying that. They can't say that. At best, their great-grandmother maybe immigrated to America, but she wasn't born on this land. These people, and I'm saying this to say, these people are trying to come up and say stuff like Mexicans built America. How did Mexicans build America? Y'all only second generation. However many generations America is, that's how deep we is. That's how deep we are. Y'all got here relatively in comparison a couple years ago in comparison to us, and y'all talk about y'all built something. What y'all build in 2 years that wasn't here before you? And when I say that to them, they sit up there and be all like, hold on, California though. No, we ain't doing that. No. But let's get back to the black and brown lady who's telling us we all need to stick together and we all need to fight against ICE for their interest.
If y'all want to get on here talking about, oh, y'all should have been at them polls. Y'all should have been this and this and that and third. Y'all should have been together more as a community. We wouldn't be here. I promise you, mass petition still would have been a thing. And I want you to remember that 62% of Hispanics in the Latino community voted for Kamala. What are you talking about? And also, use your common sense and your brain, you useless dweebs. Be for real. How are undocumented people going to vote? How?
How are there so many undocumented people, though? How you said, oh, well, how are undocumented people going to vote? they're not, but why there's so many? Because according to y'all not that undocumented. And why are the people who are documented voting for Donald Trump? Now that I mean, y'all got to talk about that within y'all own community. That's not my problem. I'm glad y'all made that decision y'all did. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I didn't vote. I set it out. But that's something y'all got to talk about. That's y'all problem. Y'all get eternal conflicts going on while y'all asking for help. No, y'all got to get that straight.
Also, you got to remember, they're only coming for a certain type of community. Understand that. That's the problem. They're only ripping certain families apart. They're attacking a certain community. And that's the problem. Not even that. It's also the fact that they're not going through the proper channels. Y'all need to remember that coming here legally is not even a real crime. It's like a civil rights crime. It's kind of like jaywalking. Why is not these white...
It tickles me when they say that. I'm sorry. I gotta pause every single time. I'm all like, in what world? Y'all gotta let's take a break and laugh. We can laugh sometimes, right? Can we laugh? In what world is sneaking under foreign borders and trespassing into a completely different country, which you've never had any permission to be here, or extend this breaking federal law, not like a real crime? Like, I'm just, so it tickles me a little bit, because I'm all like, what do y'all think the law is? Like, we have whole agencies to make sure that don't happen. As you saying that's not no real, that's like jaywalking. But trespassing into another country is like jaywalking. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, you can't trespass onto somebody's private property. I want you to understand, in the United States of America, if they have a sign that says private property, do not enter, and you trespass and you get shot for it, they would be all like, well, the sign did say private property. If you trespass into somebody's property and it says private property, do not enter, and a dog chews you up, they're going to say, well, sir, it did say private property. I don't know why you jumped the gate. But they sit up there and jump the gate of America, even though they're technically crawling under the gate or breaking through with coyotes and stuff of America. And they'd be all like, there's not really even a law like that. Sir, those big borders don't indicate that it's a law that people find very important. Now, we ain't going to Mexico doing that and talk about it's really not even a law. That just, okay. All right. See, when you say silly stuff like that, it makes your cause seem so unserious. It really does. You shouldn't even say stuff like that.
Folks all in jail. Let's be for real. Exactly my point. There's literally white immigrants. What happened to the Italians? What happened to the Swedish? What happened to the Irish? What happened to all of that? What happened to the Russian? What happened to all them people? I don't see that happening to them. What? And I also need to remember that a lot of our communities is mixed. We're all as one. What happened to the Afro-Latinos? What happened to the Black Hispanics, Black Latinos? What happened to that? Like, what? Believe it or not, we're closer than you think. Like, what? This is what they want. They want us to be pitted against each other. That whole narrative that, oh, the Hispanics only want shots at the protest so it could get violent, this and the third. Who said that? Please let me know who said that to y'all. Because what are you talking about? That is an outright lie. And if you don't feel comfortable protesting, right, you could do it from your house. You could speak up from your house. You know what I'm saying? It's not fine to get on the internet and start attacking people for going, and not even just attacking them, but trying to convince them not to go or not trying to do what they feel is right. That's weird. That's the problem. I also need you to remember that there's a lot of Black immigrants. Simple as that. I'm talking about like straight up Black, like not mixed, because I feel like when somebody is mixed, they're not Black enough anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about straight up Black, like from the motherland. And I'm telling you, because I work in those facilities, there's a lot more than what you think. Like, I'm talking about a lot. This whole narrative that is only the Hispanics, aka the Mexicans, and like, you know, the Latinos and stuff like that, it's cap. It's a lie. Yeah, it is. Not just that, it's other communities as well. There's Indians, there's Hindus, there's Arabics, there's all types, like literally, like, it's the fact that they're only coming for one community, and it's weird. and they're abusing their power and their authority. Again, not going through the proper channels.
All right. So folks get on her bumper about that. Folks got on her bumper and she had something she had to say, you know. And this is going to lead us into what we discussed in this evening, the main subject of what we discussed in this evening. I know I had to slow cook this. I had to cook it on the crock pot. You know what I'm saying? And the crock pot takes its time, and we had to take our time with this. But the result is damn sure going to be.
I don't know what you talk about.
Okay. So we had to take it the slow route, but sometimes you got to do that to get out the best product. Okay. So here we go.
You thought you was going to shut me up with that one.
Hold on. Oh, wait. Why is my thing not doing what it's supposed to do?
I sure do say it. I don't know what you talking
about. Now, the comment says, just for y'all to be saying N-word all day, girl, please. Okay. And then she said, oh, I sure do say it. This is the racial solidarity, and it's going to lead us right into our subject. Okay, y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button. They sit up there and no, there's a black and brown coalition. This woman made a whole thing, and I played for the very most of it. It's only like 10 seconds. I played for the pretty much all of it as they were talking about this black and brown solidarity and all of this stuff. And we need to stick together and don't deter people from doing the right thing. Do you say the N-word? Yeah, I do. I do say the N-word. You can't tell me nothing. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. Oh, what the hell? What the hell? Huh? You can't say nothing about me. Say, okay, all right. Notice that. These people will tell you they will rebel and they will refuse not to say the N-word and demand your help in the process. Okay.
You thought you was going to shut me up with that one. I sure do say it. I don't know what you talk about. Like, if you go on my page, please do your research. I already told y'all, like, bro, I'm literally black. I'm black as well, bro. You're damn, like, we're the same skin color. What are you talking about? Not even that. On top of that, like, how many times do I gotta explain regular history? Did y'all skip school or something? Like, I don't understand. Please, like I said, there's Afro Latinos, there's black Hispanics, and there's black Latinos. The same with there's black Americans. The only problem is that when slavery took our ancestors, they shipped y'all here to the United States. They shipped my people somewhere else. And then we got colonized by the Spanish-speaking folks, the Spaniards. That's it. That's all. Like, what are you talking about? Not even that in Mexico. Mexico had the first black president. What are you talking about? Mexico had the first black president. Before the United States, named Guerrero. 180 years later, in 2009, that's when we got ours, named Barack Obama. And Guerrero was before Nelson Mandela. Yes. Jenkins Roberts. Yes. Azikiwe. Yes. I think I pronounced that right. I hope so. And comma. Please get it together. There's
okay. This is the Black and Brown Coalition that we all talking about. Shout out to we got a lot of people in the chat room. We not even go live on Sundays, and we here and we early because we normally go live a little bit later in the evening. But shout out to every single last one of y'all. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I do. Y'all know I do. Y'all know I do. I love y'all. All right. So getting into it. Shout out to Antithesis for the Cash App. Says B1 from Valdosta, Georgia. Shout out to Georgia. Love Georgia. Love the South. FBA South. And then Yermia Ben Israel, shout out to you again for the other super chat. So that leads us into this. They're asking for help. And then when we say something that it doesn't take much to trigger them, they'll tell us what they really think. Hey, man, I'm going to say the N-word. And it doesn't matter that it offends you. It doesn't really matter. So that leads us into the video, into this real quick, okay? Many of you have not actually heard of a rapper. I don't even know if I want to call him a rapper, but some fat Mexican man who apparently has some rap songs or videos named Mexican OT. Okay. So Mexican OT, what Mexican OT is, he is some type of rapper according to himself, really. And he was on an interview with Angela, what's his name? Angela Rye. That's her name, from the Breakfast Club. The light-skinned lady who, I think, is she mixed? I don't know. I don't know where Angela is from. I think Angela is mixed, if I'm not mistaken. I got to do a reminder on that. I'm going to look that up in just a second. But he was doing some type of podcast interview, and I actually went to the actual interview and saw the interview. Okay, I didn't just take the clip. I saw the Angela Rye. God, y'all keep Angela Rye. Okay, that's a Latino. See, y'all got me twisted. It's Angela something. We're going to figure it out. All right. This is what he had to say. Lord. It's not Angela Rye. I know it's not Angela Rye. It's Angela Yee. That's her name. Angela Yee. Okay. Angela Yee. All of these damn Angelas. Okay. It's all of these damn Angelas. Angela Yee. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. Shout out to y'all in the chat room. It's too many damn Angelas. It's too many Angelas. Okay. Lord. Angela Yee. Okay. So she's a Latino. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. She's like, because she calls herself black sometimes, and then she says she's like a woman of color. I've heard her refer to herself as a woman of color other times too. So I'm all like, okay. Normally, when people refer to themselves as a person of color, in today's time, there's something beyond FBA. Whether you might be mixed, you might be a tether, you might be something else. But I don't know. You might be an anchor baby. I don't know. But normally when somebody refers to themselves as a quote unquote person of color, it's something else with that. These damn Angelas. But okay. Let's get started. She's not FBA at all? Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Because everything just goes viral and everybody's scared of getting canceled. So people be a lot more cautious. Are you scared of ever getting canceled? Like, do you feel like?
No, I'm not. I don't think I can get canceled.
No, don't say that, man. No, say, because the times are different now. Dude, you're not even that big. You're not even that relevant. You not that relevant, dude. It took you going viral saying the N-word for people to look. Who is a Mexican OT? What does that mean? What does OT mean? Yo, name 3 Mexican OT songs. He can't get canceled. He that big. He that important. Name 3 Mexican OT songs. Don't Google it. Don't Google, because that's what y'all gonna do. Don't Google it. Don't do that. Just off the top of your head. 3, just 3 Mexican OT songs. Name 3 songs that Mexican OT was in, not even his own songs, a song he was featured in. Mexican OT. Okay. All right. He can't get canceled. Okay. All right, sure.
Okay.
But I can't get canceled because I didn't sell my music. I sold me.
Right.
And
it's what come with it.
And these people know who the fuck I am, and they love me and they appreciate me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I can go fucking jump off a bridge and eat a bowl of shit and they gonna fucking love it.
What are we doing? Well, why would he say that, first of all? Okay. This kind of shows you the disposition of how he respects his audience. If a celebrity says that I can jump off a cliff and eat a bowl of crap and they gonna love it, that shows what you think of other people who quote unquote respect you or like you. And why would you say that about yourself anyway? Okay.
Okay.
Please don't.
Right.
Yo, he's mad funny. What the hell?
No, but listen
if you
to
had
me.
a choice between jumping off a bridge or eating a bowl of
No,
shit,
but
what
look,
would you
listen
pick?
to me. I'd have did
Jumping
both
off
and
a
they would have
bridge.
cheered that shit on. And it's because I sold myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't think I can get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't agree with what the fuck I'm saying, like there's
I have a question. I'm gonna let you finish though.
There's a whole world that is behind me, and not only is there a whole world behind me, it's so fearlessly me that you have no choice but to respect it, because you would just look like a dry hater. Because at the end of the day, it's what I think.
Period.
Who gives a fuck of what I think?
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
I ain't going
couldn't agree
nowhere,
with that.
cousin.
One of my favorite things is what I eat don't make you shit.
Yeah.
So why do you even care?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna eat it, and then no.
The cancel
Unless
culture
I'ma chew it and spit it in
is
your
really
mouth like a
strong.
bird.
I have a question. So you know, like you're from the South. Obviously, you grew up a different.
Now this right here, this lady right here, she's also like a New York rapper whose name is Chloe Trapper. Chloe Trapper is Nigerian. She is a Nigerian tether. Before we get into this, before we get into her question, I just want to play it back, because a lot of people who's making commentary, they're just taking that viral clip. I took it back a few seconds so you can get the full context of why she was even asked this question, or why he was even asked this question about the N-word. So before we get into Chloe Trapper, who's Nigerian, she's admitted that several times on the internet that her parents are Nigerian and that she's an anchor baby born in New York. She's admitted that several times. You know, I don't make stuff up about nobody, and I won't even confirm anything until I know it. I suspect it. I'll admit my suspicions, but I won't confirm anything until I know it. She's admitted it. Okay, so it's already, anybody who's denying it at this point is just lying to you guys. But we're going to take a review, and we discussed this when we did our special on the For the Culture thing. We discussed it then, how she's from New York, and yet she has this thing against kind of FBA women from the South. I don't know if you guys have seen this viral video. She went viral. This was, I think, last year or something like that, where she was talking about how women from the South, and when she says women from the South or bees from the South, she's saying this about foundational Black American women. Just keep this in mind.
Just sitting here thinking, remember when we could tell where you bitches was from based off of how y'all dressed? How y'all dressed though? We knew exactly where y'all were from based off of how y'all dressed. And it went something like this. Down south bitches, y'all could never dress. It was never given, oh yeah, like we could tell a bitch can't dress. She from the South. She's from the South. Like the way she's dressing is giving Southern. It always gave that. It always gave, all right, the way she's dressing is giving Southern, like it's giving down south. That's how us up north people was looking at down south. Now the Southerns is giving a Northern. Like y'all are dressing like y'all from New York, which is cool. But don't act like y'all started something. Cause you bitches never gave swag. Cali, we knew y'all was from Cali based off of how y'all dressed too. Like we knew where everybody was from. And guess what? When you seen a New York bitch come through, you knew she was from New York because the swag was turned up. Swag was turned up. It was giving all the way, turned up, all the way. I like that you Southern bitches can dress now. Congratulations! But don't let that get to your head top.
Okay. So she's glad that we can and or Southern FBA women. Now, anytime she says this, she's only referring to FBA women. That's the only women she's referring to when she says y'all couldn't dress and y'all dressing like the North, right? Now, mind you, keep in mind, is to put this in the proper context, she's Nigerian. She is a Nigerian. That's where her heritage is from. She don't dress like a Nigerian. She don't act like a Nigerian. You couldn't tell unless she told you she was Nigerian. You couldn't tell where she was from. You don't know her tribe. She don't be repping her country. She don't in the comment sections on Twitter. She do, but she don't be repping her country. She don't be doing none of that. But yeah, she's going to sit up there and rep New York. And not only rep New York, she's going to rep New York so much so where she's going to actually start dissing foundational Black American women from the South. Because in her personal opinion, they FBA women in the South can't dress. Now, not to get into too much, but there was... Is there an echo? That sounded like there was an echo going on. Okay. I ain't trying to get into that too much. Okay. But not to get into it too much, there was a beef that she had not long ago with another New York rapper. I ain't a rapper like that. Well, I guess we can call her a rapper. I suppose it's not, I guess. But Ice Spice and her used to be friends. Ice Spice went on a tour and she asked her to come. And Ice Spice apparently did her bogus, according to what she had to say. Ice Spice was in the tour. She barely got fed. Let her tell it was a whole nightmare. She was sleeping on the damn floor in the trailer. They didn't even want to feed her. Everybody else was eating steak, and she was eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and she couldn't have nobody carry her clothes, and she had to change in the damn public bathroom, and it was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. And she got on TikTok and did a whole series about how bad it was, and about how she didn't even want to tour, and about how she had an album that just dropped and she wanted to promote that, which apparently didn't really go that well. Okay, because she's not touring that album, but oh my God, she said she was eating crackers and she was eating government cheese, and the water she had to drink was a little bit yellow, and oh, people, please feel so sorry for her. And a lot of people did, but not no more. Not no more. I just want to give y'all a little review about Chloe Trapper before to go into it for proper context about this question real quick. Okay, so let's return to the video. Let's return
kind of way, and you're a rapper too. Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was some black dudes in here.
There are. Will right there. And there's one right here. Not.
Okay, well, we're gonna
just notice the long pause. This dude did a long pause, then he's low-key scanned the room. He low-key scanned the room before. I wish there was some black dudes in here. No, actually, you really don't.
I use him.
Okay, that's my manager. Hey,
because
Will.
me and Fee know what's up.
And then there's some dude who's allegedly a black man who probably is not FBA, because ain't none of them up there FBA. Who's probably a camera dude, and he knows he ain't gonna do nothing. But he's sitting up there in a room full of women who are non-FBA. And he's like, yeah, I wish it was a black dude. And then look at what he says.
Oh, you're black? I'm playing.
What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know? And then second of all, I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them.
Hold on. Now, before we get into that, and they always, and here's the thing. The Hispanic community does this often. They do this often, where I grew up with blacks. Fat Joe did that. And we're going to get into Fat Joe in a little bit, but I grew up with blacks. I did this with black people and all of this stuff. And the way I grew up, it's always this. Every time they give some type of justification for the N-word, it's always, you guys got to understand, I grew up like this. I grew up around so many black people. It's just a part of, it's like my vocabulary. It's just something that just comes out. I just say it. And the people I grew up around never had an issue with it. It's always that. Now, if we was to say a slur against the Hispanic community, because they do exist, they wouldn't appreciate that. We couldn't sit up here, nor would we, but we wouldn't be able to say a slur towards the Hispanic community and be like, oh, no, hold on. I have some Mexicans in my family, though. I have some Mexican. I grew up with a Mexican neighbor. Hold on, my best friend was Hispanic growing up. My best friend was from Puerto Rico. We couldn't do that. Okay. Now, let's get to it.
I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them.
Oh, before we get into that, if the first thing you say is what you gonna do about it, and then say, oh yeah, I love you, that's an interesting order of how you're gonna approach that. Because if you genuinely believed that what you're saying the N-word coming from you because of your quote-unquote upbringing around black people, which you can't substantiate, but your upbringing around black people, if you believe that gives you some type of pass or justification, you wouldn't even need to say, well, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna stop me. What you gonna do about it? You saying you ain't gonna stop me, what you gonna do about it? Because you know that is wrong, and they all do. All of them know it's wrong. All of them know they don't really have no pass. All of them know there's really no justification. All of them know if the shoe was on the other foot, they wouldn't let it slide. All of them know that. That's why all of them, and they never do it around no real solid FBA brothers who gonna step to him. You see, he got to scan the room. He got to scan the room real quick before he said it, like the FBA brothers gonna come out like Candyman if you say the N-word. He was like, oh, anybody here? Anybody here? There's no black man here? Oh, yeah, what you gonna do about it? There ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, after you scan the room and made sure that there's not a black man within 100 miles, now you gonna say, oh, yeah, what you gonna do about it? Huh? Okay, all right. And he knows it's wrong.
You know, I got family, and it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody out black, I mean, it was shit. It's what the fuck I was surrounded by, you know? Like, I respect people that they feel that way, and that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from, or anywhere, what the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know?
And all of this, if you from where I'm from, that's the same thing Fat Joe be talking about. Oh, I'm from, y'all not from where I'm from, and where I'm from, we do. Where do y'all be from? Because anytime we talk about where we be from, Mexicans in particular and black folk be getting into it heavy. There's whole gang wars between Hispanics and black people, especially in LA and all these other places. Yet where they claim that they are from, there's some type of racial alliance between Hispanics and black people that nobody else witnesses. Everybody else witnesses, damn it, racial hostility from the Hispanic community. Yet when they want to say the N-word, they be all, man, if you grew up where I grew up, man, blacks and browns, we all got along. Damn, where did y'all grow up? Somewhere off Earth.
It's like I done went to the jungle and earned the lion's head, you know, and I'll dominate anywhere.
Nigga, now I'm calling you. We didn't know who you were 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago. People finding out who you are now because it's gone viral. Talking about I earned the lion's head. Cause what? What did you do to earn the lion's head and now you get to use a slur? Dude, okay, you believe in your hype way too much. You fat little man.
And so I'm not saying I'm out here just fucking whooping ass, because I've taken some ass whoopings. But you will respect me the same way I respect you.
I feel like,
and to say you will respect me in the same way I respect you, but I'm gonna use a slur against your people, a historic slur that's used by oppressors of your people, that's still used by oppressors of your people today. I'm gonna use that, and ain't nothing you can do about it. That's not respect.
A lot of people that are from Latino descent here in New York feel that same way. The Puerto Ricans, the Dominican, like Stephanie, for instance, our former co-host.
Yeah.
Like, she's 100% Puerto Rican, but will in down.
Right.
And nobody says anything about it. So what's the difference?
I mean, shit, y'all just, I mean, and not even trying to justify, but shit, y'all just got dropped off before us. That's all it is.
Y'all got dropped off first. It's crazy.
We from the same boat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear your point, but I also feel like
Let me pause that. That talking point of we got dropped off okay. That's not really as true as y'all make it seem, to be very honest with you. And we don't have even the time to really go into that, to be honest. But the whole The only difference is where the boat dropped us off. That's the only difference. Technically, that implies that the only way we're here is because a boat brought us here from Europeans, and that's not true. Historians have already debunked that many years ago. Archaeologists have already debunked that many years ago, so we're not even going to get into that. But even if we say that, even if we give them that, the only difference is where the boat dropped us off. Well, damn it, it's a difference then. The Afro-Latina woman was saying that too. Oh no, we were all enslaved. We just had different slavery in different places. Well, we're different then. Oh no, we're delineating now. We're not going to sit up there and be all like, well, no, the only difference is where the boat dropped us off. If the boat dropped us off in Virginia and dropped you off in Mexico, we are not the same people. We did not go through the same things. The N-word was not a slur used against Mexican people like it was used against foundational Black Americans. It's not a slur across the board. The N-word is not a slavery slur across the board. It's a very unique ethnic slur for foundational Black Americans. So when they talk about, hold on, no, there was once upon a time my people was enslaved too. So technically I get a slavery pass to say the N-word. That's not how that works. All it is, the boat dropped us off at a different place, so technically we all the same. Y'all don't see it that way because y'all be sitting up there blocking everything we be going on. When it comes to reparations, y'all don't be all like, hey, well, the only difference is the boat dropped us off at the different place. No, y'all be all like, no, La Raza don't get reparations. You're lazy. No, not before La Raza. Y'all say that all the time. Y'all be firebombing and blocking Black people's reparations every single chance y'all get. Every single chance y'all get to be the opposition to foundational Black Americans, y'all take that without a second notice. Y'all immediately jump on that. Now, because y'all want to say something, now we got this. Well, we were all once upon a time enslaved. So technically, I'm one of you niggas. No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Now, she has something to say, right?
What's the difference?
I mean, shit, y'all just, I mean, and not even trying to justify, but shit, y'all just got dropped off before us. That's all it is.
Y'all got dropped off first. It's crazy.
We from the same boat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The fact that they're laughing about it. Oh, no. The fact that he opened up saying, what y'all gonna do about it? And then tried to give us this explanation as to why it's not bad for him to say it. He initially said, if it offends you guys, I don't care that it offends you guys. That's what he's saying. So he disrespected everybody. Now they don't feel disrespected because it's not their lineage who that word was used as a slur towards. So they personally, even though they might have dark skin, even though they might be in the same racial category as Black, they don't feel attacked by that word because that word was not used to oppress their lineage. It's an ethnic slur. Okay? That because they have because there are people from the diaspora who've immigrated into America, they are also called that really by proxy, to be honest, but it's really an ethnic slur. That by proxy of the fact that you're in a racial category, you also get called secondhand, but you don't feel offended by it because it's not your slur. It's not a slur that's been used against you. All right.
I also feel like you see you know when someone else will feel like it's disrespect. Mm-hmm. So it's not even so much like what you gonna do about it. It's like some people really find it disrespectful.
But I remember I remember being disrespectful, like where I'm from, because like.
And a lot of people's like, well, at least she kind of pushed back. At least she kind of checked him. To be honest, that's not what I picked up from that. I didn't pick up the fact that she checked him. That didn't seem like a checking. It didn't seem like she even pushed back on him a little bit. It seemed to me like she was trying to kind of soften his landing, to be very honest with you. It seemed like she was trying to kind of soften his landing a little bit. Let me take it back. Because there's some people like, well, no, she did say something. She did push back. No, that's not no pushback according to me. In my opinion, that's not no pushback. Come on now, we ain't gonna give passes what passes ain't due.
People really find it disrespectful.
Yeah, no, but
What you gonna do about it? It's like some people really find it disrespectful.
Yeah, no, but I remember.
She said you can tell who finds it disrespectful, so it's not like what you gonna do about it. Some people find it disrespectful.
You see, you know when someone else will feel like it's disrespect. Mm-hmm. So it's not even so much like what you gonna do about it. It's like some people really find it disrespectful.
Yeah, no, but I remember.
And it's under their own.
Yeah.
I cannot make out what she said about it, but she casually kind of blew it off. Whatever she said, I could not. I've tried to rewind it, slow it down, turn the volume up. Whatever she said, I couldn't fully make out exactly what she said. I even went to the transcript, couldn't fully make out exactly what she said. But the fact that she casually kind of shrugged her shoulders, body language tells you guys a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Body language tells you guys all you need to know. So the fact that she shrugged her shoulders and was like, I mean, whatever, shows that's not no pushback. She didn't push back against that. She asked the question, and she was sitting up there ha-ha and kikiing the whole time. And then she just made a statement that kind of was all like, oh, it's not even about what you're going to do about it. It's about some people find it disrespectful and some people don't. That's what she said. She was really giving him a softer landing rather than a pushback. And then look at what he says.
I remember being disrespectful, like where I'm from, because like I remember a lot of blacks and Mexicans wasn't getting along where we was for a little minute.
That's a real thing.
You remember getting disrespectful. No, that means racist. Family. That's what that means. That means I remember being racist to black people. I remember getting disrespectful because there was a point in time where blacks and Mexicans didn't get along. That means you were being racist towards black people. That's what that means. Point blank, period. While you sitting up there talking about how where you grew up, it's acceptable to say the N-word because you grew up in this racial harmony between black people and Mexicans, even though Mexican is not a race. But there was this unified alliance between black people and Mexicans. So you get to say the N-word, and then you say, yeah, I was disrespectful to black people, which he just admitted that he was disrespectful to black people again, because there was some type of issue. And I'm telling you this, they're not saying this because they even believe that it's respectful or disrespectful or anything like that. They know it's disrespectful and they don't care. And if you listen long enough, they'll express that to you. The whole and that's the end of that. That's the end of that. And Angela Yee, she didn't push back against that. She didn't push back against that. And I was wondering, like, that's interesting that Angela Yee didn't push back against that. I mean, I'm not super surprised, but it is kind of interesting until I remember this clip real quick.
Well, last time you was here, people, and I don't have a problem with it, but people seem to have a problem with you saying nigga. Because they say a Mexican should not be using the word
Bro,
nigga.
Who gonna stop?
First off, Charlemagne, and notice how anytime they say that, oh, what do you think about this? They always give some type of disclaimer. I don't have a problem. I just don't want you to be mad at me. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Hold on. Notice how Charlemagne opened it up with that.
What do you think of
just letting Tekashi know he in a safe place? What do you think of some people saying that you have not me though? I'm reading the comment. I gotta read the comment. I'm cool with you saying it. Like, dude, okay. This is why folks don't respect you.
What do you think of, well, last time you was here, people
and I'm saying this not even particular for Charlemagne, but I see this often when people address comments about racism. I don't got a problem. It's not me who got a problem. So what if 6ix9ine think you got a problem with him saying the N-word? Come on.
I don't have a problem with it, but people seem to have a problem with you saying nigga. Because they say a Mexican should not be using the word
Bro,
nigga.
Who gonna stop me? Who? Like, I can see those comments all the time. Who?
But the reason.
Okay. Was that not the same exact response that Mexican OT gave? Who the first thing you say is who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me? Now, what's interesting about this is going back to this clip.
That's why all I want to do is love now.
Going back to this clip, hold on. I want to play the whole.
But to respect it, because you would just look like a dry hater. Because at the end of the
hold on.
The N-word?
Hold
on.
Because
Will.
me and Fee know what's up.
Well, you're black. I'm playing.
What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know? And then second of all,
that's the same thing Tekashi 6ix9ine said. Now, what's interesting, Angela, is that you said this was her and on the Breakfast Club. Now, let's go back to the Breakfast Club, and then after that, I'm gonna get to the super chats. I noticed you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's get back to the Breakfast Club. He said, "Who gonna stop me?"
Why can I say it? Like I can say it. Like, who gonna stop me?
But you made a distinction when you said two African Americans shooting at each other. So to me, you just using the word as a slang word.
No, look, because I can't say two niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it look like I'm talking that only black people shoot at each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, if two African American minorities were shooting at each other, would it make the news? No, because it happens all the time. But if Tekashi 6ix9ine get caught pissing in the street, it's headlines. Tekashi 6ix9ine has no respect for the community and try to show his wee-wee to the world. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying, you know.
Now, why he's giving this is because Tekashi 6ix9ine made a song or a comment or something like that. This was years ago, where Tekashi got in some type of legal trouble, and he said, "Oh, but y'all ain't gonna say nothing about two African Americans shooting at each other." And then TMZ had picked that up. So Tekashi got in some type of legal trouble, and the first thing he said was, "Well, what about black on black crime?" That's what he's really saying. Well, all of this black on black crime that go around, and nobody says nothing about all of the black on black crime. And that's the same thing you hear white supremacists be talking about. Well, no, what about Chicago? Y'all talk about all this meth and fentanyl and stuff, and y'all don't talk about Chicago enough. That's exactly what Tekashi 6ix9ine said. That was the energy Tekashi gave, because he got in some type of legal trouble, and he was all like, "Well, black people do it." That's what he said.
The distinction. So when you say niggas, what does that mean to you?
It's the way I grew up. My culture is I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's not like I'm saying that's a dirty nigga over there.
And I want you guys to notice the pattern. The pattern initially when they're first asked or they're first told about their permission or lack thereof of saying the N-word is immediate hostility. Immediate hostility. What you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. You ain't tough like that. You ain't bad like that. They immediately get hostile. And then afterwards they realize, okay, I'm kind of getting off code. So then they go back to, oh no, I have a black abuela and I grew up around black people, and we used to eat tacos and fried chicken at the same time. We had Taco Monday and then Taco Tuesday and then a Watermelon Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I love the blacks, okay? We had chimichangas and Kool-Aid. Now, notice how they get like that, because they realize it's the immediate, what they say first is the truth. The immediate hatred and hostility that they come out with initially, that's how they really feel. And then they dial it back. Then they take a few seconds. Oh, well, I mean that me and the African Americans, we love each other and we have a joyous and jubilant relationship with each other where we all get along in alliance and peace. No. The immediate hostility is exactly what you guys meant and exactly how you guys feel.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's my part. It's my vocabulary. It's the way I talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh shit, I'm not African American. Like, I'm not dark skinned. I cannot say this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just vocabulary. You're from New York. You're from New York. You're from New York.
He's from South Carolina. But I know what you mean.
Carolina?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Where's that at?
Man, come on. I'm
listen to
gonna
me.
book you for a show there. That's where it's at.
But you know, he probably don't know where South Carolina is. He probably does not know where South Carolina is. He probably is that stupid, for real. He really don't know where South Carolina is. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
You know what it is? Y'all all from New York. You live right by me.
Yep.
Okay, there's Angela again.
You go to school. You probably went to school around. How many Spanish kids walk around like, yeah, my nigga's popping? Like,
No, everybody does.
That's why they
everybody
never-
does.
I'm
So
like,
don't
Fat
make it a
Joe
me
says it,
Dominican,
Fat Joe says it,
everybody
Big Pun
says
says
And
it.
then they back
Do
to
not
Fat
make it
Joe.
a me thing. I'm not Post Malone. I'm saying nigga. I could say nigga.
All right. So going back to this.
I remember a lot of blacks and Mexicans wasn't getting along where we was for a little
That's
minute.
a real thing.
Now, Angela just lets it slide, right? Okay. She lets the disrespect of foundation Black Americans. And when you allow that to happen, let me be abundantly clear. You are allowing ethnic disrespect. It don't matter where they grew up. It don't matter how many quote unquote Black friends they have. It doesn't matter that. They are a part of the lineage or they are not. They are Mexican or they are not. They're not going to not claim Mexican because they have Black friends, are they? But they get to say the N-word because they have Black friends. It doesn't work that way. When you allow that to happen, it's an assault, an insult to your ethnicity. It's calling you a punk and saying you ain't going to do nothing about it. Okay? Is really stepping on your territory and disrespecting your ancestors when they do it 100% of the time. Whether they do it in a rap, whether they do it calling you, whether they do it doesn't matter. That is what it is. And no self-respecting foundation Black American would allow that to happen. No. You wouldn't sit up there and be all like, hey, it's fine by me. Now, let me ask you guys this question. I want to ask y'all this question. I think I know my answer, but I want to know you guys. If Cleopatra said, would you call a woman the B word, even though women don't like being called that? Or there's another offensive word that people call women, the C word. I'm not going to say it here because that's a curse word, but some women don't like being called the B word. Would you call a woman the B word? And then he's all like, hey, what y'all gonna do about it? Y'all not gonna stop me. I'm gonna say it if I want to say it. Y'all not gonna stop me. What you gonna do if I call you the B word? Even though I feel like I can say it. Do you think Angela would have had the same response? Let's just look at her real quick. Do you think Angela, because she was talking about all of the quote unquote sexism that she went through with the Breakfast Club, and I'm not sitting up there trying to say it's true or untrue, but do you think if he said, I can call a woman the B word and y'all not gonna stop me, what you gonna do about it? Do you think she would have just laughed that off and said, well, I'm cool with it, so it's okay? Do you think that, honestly? Do you think if he said, I can call a woman or women in general the C word and ain't nothing y'all can do about it, do you think she would have laughed that off and then just kind of joked around as the host? You think so? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But yet she's gonna laugh off and joke around. And not only her, my fault. Hold on. Not only her, but all of the women sitting up there on that couch. He was the only male on that couch, and it was the rest of them were females. All of them. If he said, I can call a woman the B word and y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it, y'all can't beat me up. None of them, even if they don't have an issue with him saying that word, they would have had an issue with him putting it that way. All of them. Even if he said it a bunch of times and they don't care. If he said, I can say it and it doesn't matter if a woman is offended or not because y'all can't beat me up, none of them would have let that slide. All of them would have said, oh, you're not going to be able to disrespect women like that. No, we can't allow you to disrespect women. No. We going to have to say something about it. There would have been some pushback. They would have stopped it. They wouldn't have put the interview out, or it would have been something. But yet they all sit up there and laughed it off and was damn near acting impressed by him boldly standing by the N-word. It was not a pushback. It was not a follow-up question. They was damn near acting impressed by the fact that he stood by the N-word. And she did the same thing with Tekashi. Now, that's interesting. It's interesting because we had another character who was like that, who was bold and proud and all of that stuff, and nobody could tell him anything, and we was all hating on him and stuff. Remember, y'all remember? Let's take it back to this. Let's take it back to this.
These rumors were made by radical black racists Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say their name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the these broke niggas is.
Okay. Now, initially when he said something about the N-word, I want you guys to notice the pattern with Mexican OT, with Tekashi 6ix9ine, with Fat Joe. Now Fat Joe's not I think he's Puerto Rican or some other type of Hispanic, but they all Hispanic, really. They all Latino. Okay. Notice the initial thing they say, the first thing they say is how they really feel. The first thing they say, if it's aggressive, the first thing they say in response, if it's hatred, if you see malice or you pick up malice, that's how they feel. And then right after that, they have a thing where, oh no, I grew up around black people. Hold on. Let's hear them say that. Give the explanation.
And the guy who invented so they have a big problem, these guys, right? So they're against anybody who ain't with them.
Hold
on. We got a fucking Looney Tune.
Hold on. Before he goes into that, let's play. Remember, every single time they initially tell you how they feel, believe them the very first time. Believe them the very first time. And then afterwards, they start dialing it back by talking about how they grew up around black people.
I'm too viral.
Right.
Opinion comes from a tribe.
Right.
It comes from a group of people. So that's how they come about. These guys don't like nobody but them. So they that. This guy, well, how could he say this? How could he? Bro, have you been in my hood? Do you know where I'm from?
I'm playing these clips for you guys so y'all can understand the pattern. The initial thing they always say is disrespect, and that's out of hatred. They're not saying the N-word because they really do feel like they have a past. They're saying the N-word as a slur, and they disguise it with, hold on, I'm from a black neighborhood, or I'm from a neighborhood where there are black and brown people. But the initial thing of when you ask them about it, the who gonna check me? Y'all broke niggas. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. There ain't no black men around here who gonna stop me from saying it. I can say it if I want to say it. And then, oh, well, I did grow up around an African-American gentleman and we were best friends in high school. No. You're backtracking because you initially let the hatred spew out. And now you want to cover it up with black and brown people grew up in a similar socioeconomic neighborhood. So they try to hide behind black people and Hispanic people growing up in similar socioeconomic conditions, even though a lot of that is because the Hispanic people undermine black people by sabotaging our reparations, which is what I played earlier. But they hide behind similar conditions of oppression to say, oh, well, hold on, no, the boat dropped us off at the same place or at a different place. We was all on the same boat. You just got dropped off over here and I got dropped off over here. So we all technically just, hold on, we went through slavery too now. Hold on, no. And you're saying that you're spewing the commonality so you can hide behind the hate. You can hide your hatred behind the commonality. And when anybody calls out the fact that you guys are being racist and disrespectful, you can be all like, oh no, I got a Afro abuela, so I'm black to some degree, right? Come on now, nigga. That's how they get. And J-Lo did the same thing. All of them, and they all tell the same, it's a script that they all tell. Oh, do you know where I'm from? I grew up here. I grew up here. I grew up here. I grew up and it was great. I grew up and it was great. Now, you can't name a time where black people and all of these Hispanics just lived in blissful harmony. And anytime y'all say, hey, wasn't there like race wars between blacks and Hispanics? Oh, I mean, yeah, it was a little bit. Huh? What do you mean where you grew up? Where you grew up, it was a whole bunch of race wars going on in that neighborhood. And yet when they tell it, because they act like we can't fact check them, when they tell it, they make it seem like, oh, this was some type of blissful harmony and alliance in togetherness, and we were two peas in a pod, which we know is not the case. They say the same exact thing. Do you know where I grew up? Where I grew up? Come on, let's review it one more time. This is Fat Joe.
Do you know where I'm from? You know, we did my brother's funerals. More black people than Spanish people at the funeral sitting next to my mother. Do you know where the fuck I'm from?
Oh, do you know where I'm from? Do you know where I'm from? Okay. And then here comes Tekashi. Tekashi on the same thing.
Not African American, like I'm not dark skinned. I cannot say this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, vocabulary is the way I talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like
say niggas, what does that mean to you?
It's the way I grew up. My culture is I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's not like I'm saying that's a dirty.
See, that's the. Do you know? That's the same. Do you know where I'm from? Do you know where I'm from? That's the same exact thing. That's the same thing. Mexican OT.
You know, and I'll dominate anywhere.
Hold on.
Because I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them.
It's the same thing of, do you know where I'm from? They all grew up and they were all best friends with black people. No. And here's the thing. From now on, we don't care where you from. It don't matter where you from. You're not one of us. You not like us. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. You not one of us. It don't matter where you from. I don't care where you from. To be very honest with you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got folks out here, and I'm gonna say this: y'all should learn from Fat Joe, because Fat Joe ain't seen a good day since he put that video out, since he did that podcast. Fat Joe was kicked out of. Now he claimed that he dropped it, but Fat Joe, he stopped. He was canceled from hosting the BET Awards. We ain't seen Fat Joe be successful since. Fat Joe came out with an album, flopped. What's the name of it? Nobody knows. Probably not even him. Now Fat Joe got a whole bunch of allegations of sex crimes he got going on. Now, I will say, as of right now, they are allegations, but damn it, that karma coming back and whooping his ass. Fat Joe ain't seen a good day since. Oh my goodness. Fat Joe ain't seen a good day since. Oh my God. Why? Whoa, what happened? I'm gonna show you what happened. This is what happened. This right here.
Black racist. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right. So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the these broke niggas is.
Notice too, the people he did an interview with are also tethers. So all of the time they get around tethers or very well known Sambos. They don't get around no real ones. Notice whether it's Tekashi, whether it's 6ix9ine, whether it's Fat Joe, they always get around tethers, and then they be all like, "Oh, ain't nobody gonna stop me! Ain't nobody gonna stop me! Ain't nobody gonna stop me!" Because they feel comfortable around tethers. That's why. Because tethers allow them to feel comfortable. And then you got Charlemagne. Charlemagne ain't a tether, but Charlemagne damn near might as well be. The dude Samboing all the time. I mean, we got our own, we got to fix. We got our own problems. We do. We ain't gonna lie about it, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But then y'all, let me show y'all. You have folks out here. I pressed the wrong button. I'm always pressing that button. It's just instinct. Always pressing the wrong button on instinct. But you have people out here who says they don't allow that. They feel like that shouldn't be said whatsoever. Now, sure who these people are, but I guess this is a rapper. I'm not too familiar with her, But she says, as Nyasa, the light-skinned lady right here, she says, if you're not black, stop saying N. They blurted out. Period. I don't know why that's so hard. I don't care if you grew up with, if you are not black, expand your vocabulary. Look, Tekashi 69 said it's a part of my vocabulary. Why don't you say essay? Why don't you say fo? Why don't you say any of these other Hispanic terms and slurs that's a part of your vocabulary? You got this dude, this nobody dude who did one song, I think, with Mexican OT. He's all like, she barely black like my kids. How you gonna say who can say the N-word? It's like saying black people can't eat tacos. Ignorance at its finest. So he's saying that black people saying that you can't have a slur. You can't say a slur that's disrespectful. Is saying that black people can't eat tacos. So, oh yeah, a lot of people gave him pushback. Dude, first off, that's a food. And we don't disrespect them while we eat that either. It's not disrespectful to eat a taco. And matter of fact, they want us to do that because we patriotize a lot of their businesses when we go to these Hispanic restaurants and eat their tacos and burritos and stuff like that. We don't go there disrespecting them. They don't find it disrespectful that we eat a taco. What the hell? No, and it's not the equivalent. What would be the equivalent? This is why what would be the equivalent is if we called them a racial slur, a wet something. If we called them a racial slur or a slur that's offensive to their ethnic group, that would be the equivalent of the N-word. Not sitting up there being all like, well, what about tacos and chimichangas? And folks got on his bumper about that. And he had a response, and let's play it. Lord have mercy. Y'all brace yourselves. Y'all hit that like button. This is what he had to say. This man was
I be trying.
Oh, he was splaining.
Oh, hey man, I be trying my best to stay out of subjects like this and rant like I used to, but this one really be bothering me. Mexicans, Hispanic people, and the word, and people using the word, they're of Latin descent, specifically. Mother said, I sound dumb as hell for saying, to say that a Mexican or Hispanic person can't use the word in fellowship is like saying Mexicans telling us we can't eat a taco. We can't eat tacos. The comment said, how can you compare a derogatory racial word to a food? How do you racially disrespect a white person? What do you call them? What is a food, dumbass? What do people call Mexicans when they be disrespecting them? Tacos, burritos, wet food, disrespectful, bitch ass shit. Right?
What? Am I not? Please don't tell me, because I think I'm a smart young man. But am I the only one who's confused? I'm not confused. Like I'm trying to figure out. Like I'm confused at how his brain works. I don't know how his brain works. This man needs help. Talking about how you racially disrespect a white person, you call him a cracker. First off, the term is not like a racial slur, but the term cracker was really based off of using that as a thing on the slave plantation, because they would crack the whip. When you would whip, that's really a term for somebody being an oppressor. Okay, it's not a racial slur used to undermine and subjugate white people. Okay, black people have never undermined and subjugated and racially oppressed or held down white people ever. Okay, so we're not gonna, and even if you want to say that it's a racial slur, it's not the equivalent. Then you say, well, what do you do to offend Mexicans? You call them tacos. Maybe that's me, But I have never heard of somebody who wanted to offend a Hispanic or a Mexican person refer to them as a taco or burrito or chimichanga or whatever. I've never heard that. We don't do that. He sent up there. That was a bad. You would have been better not saying nothing. Oh, that's a bad explanation. Talking about what do you call them a taco? No, you don't. No, we don't. No, we do not. Taco is not a racial slur. Plus, that's not what you said. You said of us saying that they can't say the N-word is the equivalent of them saying we can't eat tacos, not call them tacos, eat tacos. So you're saying that their I guess cultural food is equivalent or gives them some type of pass to say the N-word. That's originally what you said. Now you're saying a taco is a racial slur against Mexicans. A taco and a burrito is a racial slur against Mexicans. I bet they very offended by Chipotle. I bet they very offended by Taco Bell. I don't know what they would think. Because, I mean, maybe they got it worse than we got it. Because we don't got Nigga Bell. They got Taco Bell. And if taco is a racial slur, I guess I'm finding this out for the first time. Because I guess they got it worse than us if taco is a racial slur. Because I ain't never seen no Nigga Bell, but I've seen a lot of Taco Bells. So, I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, it get worse, y'all. Come on.
Racism is racism no matter how you put it. And if we're going to talk about it, the most disrespectful racist mother on earth. We hate ourselves more than we hate anybody. Rob, steal from, don't support, don't help others. See 10 in the middle of the street, mother getting ate by a mother grizzly bear and keep running. A white person to jump out and try to fight a Mexican to try to stab them. Don't put out their phone and record you die and suffer for a view.
First off, that is the opposite of what I believe. If I was being attacked by a random animal or whatever the case is, and there was a group of people of different ethnicities coming to save me or around the vicinity, I'll have the expectation that the black people will initially, I have the only people I really have the expectation that would stop and try to intervene to save me are black people. Y'all remember, it wasn't that long ago, the Montgomery boat brawl where the captain or the co-captain, he threw his hat up in the air. Who came and saved them? Other black people. Black people be saving other black people all the time. All it is, black people, y'all hate each other. Black people don't want to save other black people. No. We got too many stories of black people running into burning buildings, black people taking down mass shooters, black people pulling people out of train tracks, and black people saving people from drowning and all that. We got too many damn stories of that. Hold on, because we're not going to sit up here and disrespect what we be doing like we ain't out here being the damn Avengers. Oh, we are not doing that. Let me pull up some receipts real quick. I just thought of this. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me pull up some receipts. I just thought of this. We're not going to sit up here and act like we're not out here being the damn Avengers. Hold on. Let me see. I know there's something. Hold on. There was one thing. Where was that? There was one case where a black kid, I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Right here. Let me pull this up for you guys. Let me pull this up. Black. Let me see. Okay, there we go. It's taking a little bit of time to load, but here it is. because we're not gonna sit up there and act like this. Foundational Black Americans, we the damn saviors of the world. It took me a second for me to pull it up, but here it is. Oh, I gotta close this out. Oh, stupid ad. Okay. I'm gonna wait for the ad to go away. Now, there wasn't no ad before, but now the second I want to play it, now there's an ad, but it's okay. It's okay. This thing needs to stop doing that. Act like you got some sense. Okay, well, it don't want to play. That's fine. We're just gonna read it a little bit since it's acting like that. A 16-year-old, since it don't, if it's acting like that, we're just not gonna let it slow the whole thing down. Okay. It says a 16-year-old boy, 16 years old, y'all. He's 16 years old, is being hailed as a hero after he helped rescue 4 people when a car drove off a boat launch into a Mississippi River. Okay, they were Black women. Keep that in mind. The incident happened Saturday around 2:30 a.m. when a car, which had 3 teenage girls inside, drove into this river. Okay, so the car drove into a river, floated about 20 feet away from the shore, and started to sink. Okay, the driver of the vehicle stated she was following the GPS, and the GPS drove her off a cliff, right? And then 16 years old, he immediately ran over, took his shoes and shirt off, and went into the water when he saw the car sinking, and saved them. After he heard that there were people shouting for help as they were drowning, he went in there and saved them. He says, quote, "I was just like, I can't let none of them folks die. They need to get out the water." Okay, that's what he said. Now, this boy is 16 years old. I wish the video would play, but the video sent up there acting like they don't want to play. Okay, but it's okay. That's just one receipt we have. So as we sit up there talking, get this off here. As we sitting up there talking about how, well, a Black person to let another, no, the only person who you can really rely to save you if you really needed some help is another Black person. I'm not going to expect no white man to jump in not unless he a lifeguard who already getting paid for it. I'm not going to expect it. Not saying he will or won't, but I'm not going to expect that. I won't. That brother is 16 years old. And this disposition lets me know what you think of Black people. When you say stuff like that about other Black people, it lets me know what you think about Black people.
But you have the audacity to say that Hispanic people shouldn't say the word. Second of all, the word has already been converted into a word of love, a word of companionship, a word of brotherhood, fellowship. It's not been a derogatory racist word in so long. Yes, coming out of a certain white person's mouth in a certain way, yes, man, I feel more disrespected than for a white person calling you a boy. So at the end of the, some real shit, y'all be doing that shit for the internet, and I hate this shit, bro, because y'all don't really give a about. That's the part that irked my soul the most. And then, how do you disrespect the Asian person? What they call them? Fried rice, egg, same shit. So don't ever say.
No, they don't. And this dude is just rambling at this point. And the whole, the N-word's been converted. Not for them. No, it ain't been for them. It ain't been for them. No. It's not been converted. If they say it, it's a slur. That's point blank, period. None of the other extra stuff of, oh, well, it used to mean that for them, and it still means that for them. It ain't changed for them. They don't get to come and say the N-word because, oh no, y'all say it now. No, it still means the same thing that y'all meant when y'all said it hundreds of years ago. It means the exact same thing.
Comparing it to food is not the same. Yes, it is, you dumbass. You the dumbass, idiot. I love Hispanic, anime, Japanese, Chinese. I love all people. People need to love people. Yes, we have been done wrong, but a lot of people have been done wrong as well. Yes, we have not got our reparations and our blessings back for what we have been through in this world. But when you talk about Hispanic people, I feel a certain type of way because why? Hispanic people built America just like we built America. America was built on the blood of Hispanics just like it was built on the blood of the black man.
America was built on the blood of Hispanics. Did not play, and this is why I played a bit originally. If you guys didn't watch for the whole time, after this, you guys gotta go back and check it. I originally played Kate Sanchez saying that most of these Hispanics are third, at best, generation. That means their grandparents are here. But most of these Hispanics, they can't go back 4 or 5 generations. They can't go back into the early 1900s. We have family members that we have grown up with. They might be alive today, they might not be, but we have family members that we can recall grew up or were born in the early 1900s. I do. I literally would able to have a conversation with people who were born in the early 1900s, okay, who are born in America. They can't. They just got here talking about they built America like we built America. What did they build? We built the White House. We built Wall Street. We built the railroads. We created the wealth. We built the buildings. What did they build? Nothing. They just got here. That's why. They just got here. I love Mexicans. I love everybody. That's all lives matter, dude. Okay. Yeah, but Mexicans don't love you, though. I don't know if you got a little Latina broad because you said your child is not all the way black like that. So it could be that you swirling and got a Latino broad or something like that. It could be that. Or you want another music video, or you got a Hispanic fan base, whatever the case may be.
And the Indian man. So at the end of the day, all that shit is bullshit. And it's y'all for that dumbass systematical racism that make us hate each other. I understand that dumbass shit that going to California, how they feel and all that, and that's dumb in a bitch too. Because right now, everybody should be supporting Hispanics that came over to America and helped build this country and ain't did nothing wrong to you. And if you can, bitch ass, I don't know, y'all niggas some hoes though. But shout out to the Rasa and every Mexican that don't like you too. Every person that don't like me, you too. But at the end of
you know what's interesting is that notice, and I had this on Twitter Space, not on TikTok, sorry. Notice how when we check them and you have a black person who may be FBA, may not be FBA, suspect each other. But let's say, for the sake of argument, right now, we're going to put 2 scenarios. Scenario A, he's FBA. Scenario B, he's not FBA. Scenario A, he's FBA. And normally when you see this from celebrities, that means that they have a Hispanic fan base, or they have a Latino in their bedroom, or they do business, especially if they're in LA, they do business and they want to get put on the radio, and a lot of the Hispanics run the radio stations, and if you check a Hispanic, they ain't gonna put you on the radio station. So you're thinking about it from a business mindset of what is the most advantageous for myself. I can allow them to disrespect my ancestry. I can allow them to disrespect my ethnicity because it's good for business for me. So that's what a lot of the FBAs who sell out, they look at it as some type of strategic chess move. That the FBA sellouts always do that, because the tether sellouts, they just do it from the heart, really. There's not even a business move that they doing it from. See, okay, let's break this down real quick. Okay, I know we segueing a little bit. Okay, we're digressing a little bit. There's different sellouts, okay? There's different oppositions to foundational Black Americans. And we got to understand what the difference is. You have your FBA, your whether you call them the Sambo, Massa Lover, or whatever the case is. These are the niggas who think they smarter than everybody else. These are the house niggas that Malcolm was talking about that think they smarter than everybody else. Now, there's two levels of them. There's one that believe it, that have like Stockholm syndrome and believe that they really do love Massa. And then you have ones that think that they getting over on somebody. You have ones that think that me selling out, me shucking and jiving and tap dancing, this is a smart business move. That's the spook who sat by the door type. That's what you have. Okay, those are the two types of sellouts. Okay, you have just the Massa Lover, and I'm talking about those will be the Uncle Ruckus. Those will be the Steven from Django. I just love white. I love it. I love Massa. That's when it comes to the FBA sellouts, you only have two. Okay, really. Okay, there's levels of it, but it's really chill. All right. That's the Massa Lover, and then the ones who think that they making a real smart business move, and they never do. They never do. They always get that wake-up call. They always thinking, okay, I'm going to let this slide. I'm going to get a little bit of money right here. I'm going to be the spook who sat by the door. I'm going to be the token Black friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use my Blackness as a defense mechanism. So when they come at them, I can say, hold on, I'm a Black person and I don't feel offended. So you can't say he's racist. I'm Black and I don't feel mad at all. That's what they do. And they thinking like, oh, this is going to climb me up the ladder. They're selfish. They're cowardly. Okay. They're people who are void of honor and respect. And they're dumb, most importantly, because they think that this is some type of strategic business move to sell out your people, not knowing that you're climbing up the ladder for a Negro wake-up call. That's all you doing. That's all you doing. Now, with the tethers, they just do it for the love of the game. They just do it just for the love of the game. They ain't even know a lot of times. Now you do have your Myron gangs who do make some type of money out of it. You know what I'm saying? They do monetize they anti FBA hatred. But then you got other ones who just do it for the love of the game. They just do it for the love of the game. And they do it for the love of the game really because a lot of that stuff is jealousy. Yeah, how you know they do it for the love of the game, just like Candace Owens. They will diss FBA, but they will refuse to diss anybody from the Caribbean. They will put a bad spotlight on FBA. They will shame and demonize foundational Black American culture, but they will refuse to do that with Caribbean culture. So you know they're not selling out all the way. They just gonna attack FBA. So it's not even like a business thing with them. It's a little bit more personal. It's a little bit more personal. The hatred is kind of there. It's not like this some type of, now of course they do monetize it. Candace, Myron, like come on now. Of course they do monetize it, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff really does. They got a little bit of jealousy that fuels that fire. All right. So we got to understand the difference. It's all cowardly. It's all pathetic. It's all dishonorable, but there is a difference and we got to understand that. All right. We got to understand that. Let's go back to old boy and his pathetic explanation.
Today, all you fake Carnell X and fake ass Louis Farrakhan police in the word against people of color, that's dumb than a bitch to me. We all are people of color. I don't see that much from the Nation of Islam telling you 24-hour Muslims nigga become Muslim. That's why when you hear me speak Islam and speak alhamdulillah, that's because I have so many Edon and Arab brothers that I love and I respect them so much that I won't even be around them without speaking to them in their fellowship and their language and within the honor of their shit.
Now, it's interesting is you say you're not going to go around Arabs and say anything that's not disrespectful when you're around Arabs, but yet you're going to get on Black people for saying that we should have the same amount of respect reciprocated. the same amount of respect you just admitted you give to other communities, the second we say, as black folk, as FBA, the second we say, okay, we just want that same amount of respect reciprocated. If you're not going to go to their community and you're not going to call an Arab person a racial slur or ethnic slur, if you're not going to go to the Hispanics and say something that you feel would be disrespectful or do something you feel would be disrespectful, we say that they shouldn't be able to come around us and say something or do something that we feel is disrespectful. But you're going to get on your own community calling people B words and niggas and all of this stuff. Notice he's not trying to educate or give his opinion. He's attacking us for being offended and having a standard of how we're being treated. Even though he says he would never do that to anybody else, knowing damn well he ain't gonna get no pass. Ain't no Arab person gonna make a video defending him if he says something offensive about the Arab community. Ain't no Hispanic person gonna make a video defending him as if he says something offensive to the Hispanic community. Or Asian person gonna come up here and make a video defending him if he says something offensive towards the Asian community. But yet he feels like he can come up here and check us for saying something, for saying we need to have that same standard. He's coming up here checking us for it. Okay. All right.
Me out the mosque and shit like that, or not treating me as a brother of love because I haven't took my shahada or because I ain't all 100% Muslim. That's because they not, that's real. They real. They all dumb. This is my last one. I'm done with this shit. This is our last 3 videos. I'm done. A lot of you, male and female, be scared of white people and Mexicans. Y'all, but haters, y'all all mother tough and swole, grab your gun, be ready to fight, defend. Courageous around other, get polite as hell around white people and Mexicans and shit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, let me open the door. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, yeah. But when you hang around 30 other, you hang people and you Mexicans. But then you go to your job and kiss white ass every day. You go to your job and kiss Mexican ass every day. But then walk in the store and see it and be ready to nigga right there. Broke his clothes fake. I see. Oh Lord, if I anybody, yes, I'm just saying, blood.
Speak for yourself. No, dude, speak for yourself. No. And it's kind of interesting because you were just saying in the same damn video that we're too defensive and we don't love everybody. So either we don't love everybody or we're scary. Either we too upset or we scary. Okay. Oh, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Hey, speak for yourself, because I don't go to my job kissing no. I ain't never kissed no white man's ass or no Mexican man's. Are we scared of them? Scared of them? Are you serious? You better ask Ryan Garcia what happened. We scared of who? Y'all the ones who gotta jump black folk. Y'all be the ones who gotta attack black pregnant women in cars and black little girls and stuff like that. We don't be doing that to y'all children and y'all pregnant women. Y'all be doing that to our community. Who's scared of who? Y'all be the ones ambushing people and y'all gotta sneak around and y'all gotta go to schools with assault rifles and catch people off guard. That's y'all who gotta do that cowardly nonsense. We don't do that. We are the least cowardice people in this nation. Ain't nobody in this nation braver than Foundational Black Americans. I said it. I don't care how anybody feel about it. All of y'all are scary. All of y'all cowards. That's why, hold on. Let's go back to it. Let's go back. We got to rewind it one more time for y'all. We got to rewind it one more time. Okay. Notice when she said it. Hold on. Where is that?
I ain't going
couldn't agree
nowhere,
with
cousin.
that. One of my favorite things is what I eat don't make you shit.
Yeah.
So why do you
Where is it at? It's right. It's about right here.
About it, you know? And then second of all.
There's one right here. Not.
Okay, well, we're going to use him.
Okay. That's my.
When she asked,
behind you.
Nah, I ain't even gonna spend that long looking for it. Notice when she asked him, What would you say about the N-word? Notice he had to look around. He had to look around the room. Oh, I'm glad. He said, I wish there was some black men in here. No, he don't. Notice they always look around the room and they checking. He checking for his safety, not mine. He had to check and see. He was like, I don't want a real one kind of stepping to me. Talking about we cowards. Dude, please. If you thinking you're going to get a record deal or you're going to get a Hispanic fan base out of this, I promise you not. Dude, oh, man, you just you ruined your whole career with that one. You should have stuck to the lineage. Okay? Let me let y'all know something. At this point in time, offending and disrespecting the lineage ends your career. If you don't believe me, ask Fat Joe. Ask Fat Joe. That's all I have to say. If you don't believe foundational black Americans can end your career, ask Fat Joe. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Where was he at the BET Awards? That's what I want to know. How's his album doing? Yeah, I ain't heard it on the radio, or I ain't heard nobody make a video about it. I ain't heard it on TikTok or nothing like that. How's your album doing, Fat Joe? I ain't seen nobody do a review or nothing like that. How them allegations going? Who's standing by you, Fat Joe? Who's standing by Fat Joe right now with the allegations? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. You think you cancel proof? Oh, we're going to see. We're going to see that. You think you cancel proof? Dude, you're not big enough to be canceled. You're not relevant. Mexican OT, what album do you have? What tour do you do? Mexican OT, dude, what? Ain't nobody can name 3 songs from you. Talk about I'm cancel proof. I guess you are cancel proof because you ain't relevant. You got to be relevant to be canceled. Apparently, I mean, I guess if that's the case, you just as cancel proof as my grandmother. And I love my grandmother, but she ain't no celebrity. You can't cancel somebody who's not a celebrity, who don't got no clout, who don't got no motion. You can't stop something from moving that wasn't moving in the first place. So I guess he is cancel proof of that. With that logic, I suppose he is. I wanted you guys to recognize the patterns. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, recognize the patterns, okay? Notice how the initial thing they say is, F y'all broke niggas, who gonna stop me, who gonna do this, who gonna do that, I'm big, I'm bad, I'm tough. Can't nobody say nothing about me. Is there any black men around here? You sure? You sure there's no black men around here? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying I'm tough, I'm bad, I'm big, you know what I'm saying? I'll step to anybody. I don't care. Okay. Notice that. And then right after that, it's always, well, if you grew up where I grew up around African Americans, and we had a jubilant relationship, and we got together like the best of kin. And I have a cousin who married a black person one time. They got a divorce, but it still counts. I still like them. But you know what I'm saying? So technically, I'm one of you niggas. Like, no. It's always the disrespect. Then after, you know where I'm from? No, I don't. Nor do I care. Yeah, nor do I care. Nor do I care. Let me get to the super chats. Shout out to Lewis. Lewis says, these people are literally trying to replace us. They're even listening to where we say our families were from in the South. That's true. That's true. That's very true. They're listening to where we say our families are from in the South and regurgitating what they hear us say to present as us. That's very true. Be aware, people. All of a sudden, because they understand saying they're from New York, that sends a red flag, because we already peeped the game that a lot of people, you just saying you from New York don't mean you FBA. Keep in mind, because New York get a lot of flack, but it's a lot of solid FBA in New York. Let's keep that in mind. Let's not. I don't necessarily bang on New York too tough. A lot of people do. I don't do that. Okay. We gonna show our New York brothers and sisters they respect. There's a lot of FBA brothers and sisters in New York. However, a lot of non-FBA, whether that's Puerto Ricans, whether that's tethers. It's a lot of them also in New York too. Okay, and it's very crowded and it get mixed in. All right. So when the FBA brother says, "Oh my people from Georgia," so now they hearing, "Oh, okay, so Georgia's the spot. Oh, my people from Georgia too. Oh no, my people from Virginia. Oh, my people from Louisiana." Oh, so you're going to hear a lot of people starting to claim that they from the South, and they really not from the South like that, because they not. And you ask them what city, they be all like, I don't know. I mean, why does that matter? No, you ain't. No, your family ain't from the South. Shout out to Ike. I appreciate my brother Ike for the 50. He says, "I love some Spanish women." Well, shout out to the super chat, I guess. Be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. Be careful. You might love them, but do they love you? That's the question. That's the question. Do they love you? Don't be confused. Don't be confused now. Come on. You saw what Kate Sanchez said about reparations while you loving Hispanic women. But all right, shout out to the super chat though. Lewis, is that the same Lewis or is that a different Lewis? That's the same Lewis. Lewis again sends a super chat, says, "This is why we can't have these people speaking for us, nor should they be involved in anything we got going. They have a habit of redirecting things. They do. They always do. They don't ever stand on business. They have a habit of redirecting or softening the blow, giving them a pass, or trying to make some type of justification, saying, well, I'm not offended. I'm black. I'm not offended. No. So this is why when it comes to that in particular, the N-word is a particular word foundational Black Americans have really taken the stigma out of when we use it amongst ourselves. Keyword ourselves. When other groups of people use it, they're using it because we've made it something that is popular and that shows a bit of culture. And more importantly, the fact that we were able to take the stigma out of the word when we use it amongst ourselves, that shows a level of cultural resistance against oppression that these other groups of people don't have. So this is why they want to use it so much, because they can't do it. Not that they don't want to, because they have their slurs, but honestly, they can't do it. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't do it. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But this was only supposed to be a little bit. We hit our 2-hour mark here. We're going to pick this up sometime next week. But I did this because I missed Wednesday. And we can't miss a day, y'all. Can't miss a day. So we had to make it up. So, tomorrow we going back to the same schedule. We still got more to talk about. We still rolling. We still got a lot of momentum on this channel on For the Culture. Shout out to the For the Culture thing. We just dropped a Juneteenth special. Y'all got to go back and check that out on the For the Culture channel. Y'all subscribe to the For the Culture channel. Check that out. I was in DC for Juneteenth. Me and ZZ did a podcast. Shout out to her. Shout out to everybody who supported that. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. What I would appreciate you guys doing is if you guys didn't get the notifications, y'all make sure y'all can follow me on my various social media platforms to make sure y'all do. Link is in the description. But what's really important is y'all hitting that like button. Yup. Y'all hitting that like button. Y'all hitting that subscribe button. Y'all hitting that notification bell. That's what's really important. My brothers and my sisters, my foundation Black American brothers and sisters, that's what's important. If anything, y'all making sure y'all hit all of that. Now, I appreciate y'all. I really do. We had 1,000 people in here. We're not on schedule at all. That just shows the love, the foundational Black American love. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Black first to every single last one of you all. Thank you all again for everything. And y'all stay blessed.